Hey, how are y'all doing today? I am going to do a drawing lesson. We had this request from some of our students here at Park Place Child Life Center. And so we're going to talk a little bit about drawing faces. So one of the first things I want to say is people said, teach me how to draw eyes, teach me how to draw a nose, teach me how to draw a mouth. Well, the first thing you want to do is realize that every mouth, every eyes, every nose is different. So we're going to begin by drawing some head shapes here. And what you need to learn, first of all, is facial proportions. So everyone thinks the eyes are up here. I bet you always draw your eyes up here. Most people do. But the eyes are really here in the center. So, and there are 5 eyes going across the width of the head. So if you divide this shape right here into 4, that will show you how the eyes should be spaced. So eyes are usually almond shaped. So if you draw your almond shape in there, there you have your eyes. The nose is same wide as an eye. And it is about halfway between the center of the head and the chin. So this space right here, we're going to go ahead and put the bottom of the nose. And it is about as wide as the inside of the eye. So we'll put the side of the nose here, and then we can just draw a couple nostrils. And that's really all there is to it. In between the chin and the nose, in the middle of there, we have the mouth. And the mouth, in general, goes to the width of the eye. The main thing you want to draw when you're drawing the mouth is the line in between. The lips are just suggested for the most part. Most people do a lot with the lips, but that's really not what you need to do. All right, for the eyes, you really want to understand that there's a big hole right here in your skull, and your eyeballs are stuck in there. So you have a lid over the top of your eyeball and a lid underneath. Now, depending on your age, how much these lids will show. And then you want to see how big your eyes are. Most people only have a little teeny bit of white showing. So I'm just going to draw like that. And then here we're going to go ahead and give a nice arch over that same area for the eyebrow. Now everybody's face is a different shape, but generally the chin will be here, and you do have a jawline. And here's something that's funny, is everybody thinks ears are really small. But if you check on yourself, you'll see they go from the top of the eyebrow to in between the nose and the mouth. So ears are really big. Another thing that's very common is drawing skinny necks. Well, necks actually connect at the base of the jaw right here. So necks are much wider than you think. And so now this person looks really funny, but it's because I haven't given them any hair. So once I start adding the hair, you see it goes from looking like some crazy person to kind of looking like an actual person. So that's basically what you need to know about facial proportion. Now, we could go into more and more of this on the eyes, the nose, the mouth. But what I really want to do is teach you how to draw somebody that looks like themselves. So I just grabbed a couple pictures out of a magazine here, and as you see, here's a nice smiling lady. So always when you want to start your drawing, actually I should probably turn it like this, because that is the portrait shape, is the way that her picture is going. And you always want to start out kind of sketching in the head. It's usually where I begin. And then I see that her shoulder and neck goes like this, and this goes like this. So she's got what's called a 3/4 turn going on. If we see right here, her clothes come down, and she's got some hair. It goes like this around her face. And as you see, it starts becoming a little bit lively. Hopefully you can see my marks. Yeah, you can see them. I'm going to get darker soon. So you want to start off relatively light like I am, okay? Because we're just trying to capture the essence of what this lady looks like. Now, when you're capturing the essence of something, you don't want to sit there and try to draw perfectly, because it will end up being very flat and not alive. All right, now my next step is going to be finding the center line of the face. So the center line of the face, if you look right here, I see it's not straight up and down. And that's one of the biggest mistakes that I have made in the past, is I try to, my mind will say, nope, draw it straight, but it's actually not straight. So watch this. This is a huge tip I'm giving you right here. Right now, it looks a little bit big, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down a little bit, so I don't think her face is quite so big. There we go. That looks a little bit better. And I can keep working on this until I get it where I want it. Now, I see right here that it goes at an angle. So I'm going to get that angle of her face, because if I don't, I'm not going to get anything else right either. All right, so always remember what I told you about the eye level line. Now let's double check. So if we look here, we see, boom, boom. Her eyes are a little bit higher than half, but you know what? Well, actually look, boom, boom. It's almost exactly half. So if we go boom, boom, okay, that's the top of my head, and the eye level line is right here. And if you keep this eye level line in a 45-degree angle, then you will get the gaze right. And what you could do is twist it like this so it's straight up and down when you're going to draw it. Now, this works much better if you're drawing from a photo like I am right here. But if you're actually drawing somebody live, of course, you can't really get them to twist and turn their head like that. But most people who are doing some type of portraiture are going to be working from a photo. Now, let's take a look and see if those proportions ring true. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across. Yep. So you also want to check here and see, okay, does she have big eyes, little eyes? What do you think? So I'm going to go ahead with the almond eyes right here in the center. And that's how I'm going to begin, just like how I showed you earlier. Now, you see here, the ball in her head. Now let's see this area, that big circle? Let's go ahead and knock that in. And her nose right here is very narrow. But if we lightly draw in this, just think about that. You're drawing a skull. You can't see the skull because it's covered up with flesh. But that big eye hole is right there. And if we get that, then that will help everything. So that's going to tell us where the eyebrows go. Right here. See how easy that is? And so basically we're building the structure of the face, and you got to understand what is underneath there. Let's keep going here with the eyes. So you see we have the lid that goes up and over, and then she has a little teeny one underneath, and it goes up and over, and it gets, you know, kind of bigger and smaller. She has big eyes, and then she has the little teeny one here. Now it looks like her eyes are a little bit squinched down, so I'm going to lower this top lid. And we want to see if we get this shape right here. So if you look at it, it's pretty small. Most people draw eyes way too big. Now let's take a look at these eyes. Boom. That's the white of the eye right there. And then we see the curve goes over here, and that's it. Do the same thing over here. Get the white of the eye in, and then we just make sure we have a circle. And that is it. Always when you're drawing the pupil of the eye, make sure it's equidistant from the circle that you've already laid in there. And that gives you the correct pupil. Now pupils get bigger and smaller, so it may change. Now her eyes are smiling, so there's a crinkle here. It's very important they pay attention to that type of thing, because that's what's going to give the facial expression. Now, let's go down here and see if this nose is right. So, in between, her chin is a little bit long, but you see what's happening here? her mouth is open. So that halfway mark is not going to hold true. But if we use our proportions of say, okay, one eye, let's say it's 2 eyes down. We'll just go to about right there. And now watch, we turn the eye, we see it's a little bit wide. It comes to about right there. And then we see it also comes here. Wow, here we go. Bottom of the nose, just like I told you. And we got to make sure we get that nostril in. And that's a dark part of the face. Because why? It's a hole in your head. Boom. Always dark. No light's usually getting in there, right? Unless you got a light coming down from the bottom of your face. And to make the nose look like a nose, we can start adding some shading or value. And basically, we have to make this have light and shadow on it to make it look like it is coming forward. All right, we're coming right along. Now, so I told you before about the center of the mouth. Well, we're going to get the center of the mouth, but it's separated by teeth. Well, guess what? Teeth are super duper hard. Now, see if this holds true what I told you. Oh, yep, boom. And notice it goes down and up. And that is a very common thing in a smile. It goes down and up. Everybody always wants to draw a smile like this, but it really usually goes down and then up. Okay, it has all to do with the muscles in your face. All right, so she has beautiful lips here, and we're just going to bring them there. Now watch, we're going to treat the teeth like they're all one thing. Do not try to draw inside those teeth, because guess what? It will be all dark and it will look terrible. So we see the teeth come to about the same width as the nose on both sides. And they always get smaller as they go back, just like anything else in space. Now we see there's some dark areas right in here. Now this is just going to end up being black. This kind of triangle. And then there's the bottom of the lip. And she has got some stretching going on here because she's smiling. And here we go. Here's her chin. And we've got to get these nice smile creases that she's got around her face. So this one kind of goes like right there. And that's about it. And then we have some lines that go like this. It looks to me like I got a problem here with the eyes. She doesn't look very happy. So we're going to bring this lid up some more. There you go. That's much better. It was too sad looking. And once you understand facial expressions a little more, you will see how I realized what that was. Okay, now we are looking good. So we see here we have a nice cheek. And then back here is the rest of the face. She has a strong chin, but she also has kind of a double chin going here. So that is a little bit tough. We're going to make sure we get this mark here. And there is some light showing through in between her hair. And the background. And here we see that she does have a nice round cheek. And that's mostly because why? Because she's smiling. All right, now we've got this nice collar that's going to come in underneath her hair. It looks like she's a doctor. All right, go lady doctor. Love it. And then we're going to make sure we get the collar on the other side. Pocket. And here we are. This is going to come out like that. And basically now all we have to do is keep adding value. Always, now see how this looks funny? Well, there's a couple reasons. Number one is there's always shadow under the nose because there is no light underneath there. So if we go to make sure we get some shadow, And then it comes all the way down to right above her lip. And she does have on lipstick, so I'm going to go ahead and color it in. You can see the highlight of her lips, so we'll leave that. And I'm going to go dark right in here. Now, let's hit the darkest darks of the eye, of the portrait. You usually do want to leave a little bit of a highlight in the eyeball. But I just colored it all in. Now, most people want to draw some crazy big eyelashes, but you see, you can only barely see some, but there is a thick, dark line here from her makeup. And then we just go ahead and keep adding our value, creating the darkness in the background here. Hair that goes around your head is always dark underneath the hair. So you want to make sure you get that, and there's a lot of range of lights and darks in the hair as well. It looks like this one you can see a little more of the highlights of her eyes. And now let's work on the cheeks a little bit. Now, notice here that it seems like I'm scribbling, but I'm adding the value. She has dark skin, or not real dark, kind of mocha color. So I really need to get the whole skin colored in. So let's go ahead and do that right now. And notice how I'm going to color in that skin. I'm going to make it go in the direction of the actual skin is going. So it will help define the form. And down here is where it gets really dark. So that's what one of our problems is we don't have this darkness here, and it looks like this has to come up higher. Yeah, there we go. So at any point along the way, you can fix your proportions, fix your lines, so that if you find that you've done something wrong, if you've finalized everything, you can't really fix it. But we haven't finalized anything. We're building our drawing. And that is the key. Some people, if you're like a master and you could sit there and draw the eye and then add another eye and all that, like you see some people do, great, good for you. But this way, it's guaranteed to be a much more lively person, a lot more life. Because it's a gesture drawing, and gesture drawings are full of life. And now we just got to make sure we get some value in here. And as you see, she's going to really start coming alive here a little bit. And at this point, I can go ahead and lightly indicate some teeth. Just maybe the bottom of them, maybe the top a little bit. But you don't want to draw a lot of lines in there because she's got very white teeth and you want them to show. If you make them real dark, then they won't look like light teeth. All right. Now we're going to work on the hair a little bit more. We're going to try to get it darker so it starts looking a little more like her. She looks kind of still like a white lady, which we got to change that because that's not right. And one of the next steps I'm going to do is actually to draw with my eraser, and that's super fun. I love doing that. We got to get the value in here. And one of the best ways to find out if you're going dark or if you need to go darker in any areas inside your drawing is to, see, I have an earring in here. So I'm going to draw that circle and then draw around it. And then I can lighten that back up. It's very dark in there. And notice I'm not trying to get each individual hair. That's what a lot of people try to do. You just want to get the kind of the essence of how her hair looks, how it's flowing in the moment. And that'll be all you need to do, really. Okay, now I'm going to come in with my lights. Now, watch how I'm going to add the highlights. Get some more value in here. Get her skin tone correct. Now, a lot of people like to, I'm leaving that, what do you call that, pearls out, because I'm hurrying up. And I don't want to bother with it for the purposes of this drawing. It's not important. Here's that space we talked about earlier. Go ahead and lighten up these teeth again. Wow, she's starting to look good, huh? All right, now we're going to lighten up the areas that are going to make her look where you can see the the light shining on her skin. And this is pretty important that you get this part right. So you want to get the lightest lights correct, the darkest darks correct, and everything else will kind of take care of itself. Now, please don't use your fingers to smear. That's what a lot of people do, and it's really not an effective way of building value. The way I'm showing you is the way you want to do it. Just work with your pencil. Keep adding until you get it to where you want it to be. And the next thing you know, you have a nice little drawing. So, there you go. There's my sketch of this lady here. We are happy to take requests. If you have any requests for lessons, just come on, let me know, and we will give it a try for you. Stay tuned for our new artist trading card lessons, and we hope to see you again real soon. Bye.